the days following Jay's birth are a bit of a blur. So he was born on the Wednesday, and on the Thursday he was taken straight away for a heart scan. Babies with Down syndrome can often have serious heart conditions. So the fact he was taken for this heart scan so soon was a relief, really. And that confirmed that he has no heart issues, which was brilliant. He also had his hearing checked, which again is just a typical newborn baby test that they do anyway. But because Jay had been a C-section birth, he failed the hearing test. So again, they did a repeat test the following day and he failed it again. So at that stage, we were a little bit nervous about his hearing. On the Thursday, they also took a blood test to be sent to genetics as well. And that was going to be the diagnostic for Down syndrome. So yeah, it was a lot to happen and it was all quite overwhelming. I think
what helped you through that time, that kind of time where you weren't quite sure, you and Simon?
It's funny because myself and Simon kept looking at Jay and saying, yeah, we think you will have Down syndrome, and then we'd look at him again and think, no, I don't see it. So we were both in limbo. It did completely just pull the rug from under our feet, to be honest. At that time as well, Simon was still sort of trying to work as well, and everybody wants to know your new baby news, and everybody says, oh, I hope everyone's well, and you think, well, yeah, the baby is well, we think it is, but actually we've got this diagnosis hanging over us as well. So that was a bit of a strange one, knowing what to tell people or how much to tell people. But as I said from the start, we've been open and honest with people, so we decided we would treat this in the same vein as well, and just be open with people that actually, yes, Jay's healthy, but we don't know what the future is going to hold for him. But it took within 5 days, we had his Down syndrome diagnosis confirmed to say that he does have trisomy 21, which is, I believe, one of the most common forms of Down syndrome you can have. But he has gone through so many tests already. He's 3 months old now, and he's got a clean bill of health, which is the main thing.
That's great. And can you, because when we spoke, Anne-Marie, I was so kind of inspired by how positive you were with the whole situation, and obviously getting a Down syndrome diagnosis for your new baby would be confusing and bring up all sorts of different thoughts and feelings. So how did you feel on his diagnosis, and what helped you, and where are you with it now?
So it was a shock to both myself and my husband when we had it confirmed that Monday. And I guess it was almost like a grief. You almost grieve for the baby that you think you're going to have. We obviously love Jay to bits, and we would not change him for the world now. But you, as I said before, you just think you're going to have a baby and everything's going to be absolutely fine with the baby. But actually we're throwing this curveball that, things might not go smoothly for us. But the main thing is that he's in good health, and I think that's all we can focus on just now. And the day that we had the diagnosis confirmed, we were both very upset, and just a overwhelming feeling of sadness for Jay, that we don't want other people to treat him differently. And we want to make sure he's got the same opportunities as any typical baby, toddler, child will have. And we will do our hardest to make sure that is the case. And I think that's all we can focus on, really. And I said to my husband as well, I don't want this diagnosis to spoil the newborn baby phase either. It did take the edge off the excitement and everything, I'll be honest, but I said to everybody, he's great, he's our baby. We didn't think we were going to have a baby. He is our little miracle. So, and I think that's kind of what pulled us through. But the support we had as well was just absolutely brilliant. Right from the start, we were given an information pack with his diagnosis, and there was an email address on there for a local Down syndrome support officer who we contacted. From that, we were then put in touch with various resources, one of which was the Positive About Down Syndrome charity, who Nicola Enoch set up. And from there, you know, we've got such a great support network of parents who have Down syndrome babies as well, which has been a great help just to get information. And, you know, it's a resource to go to if you've got any concerns, or, you know, being a first time mum, sometimes a bit confusing if you've got a concern about something.
Yeah.
The first thought is, well, is this a newborn baby issue, or is this a Down syndrome issue?
Yeah.
So, and we've been very fortunate that we've had a great health visitor as well, who's really supported with the feeding, because Jay did lose a lot of weight when he was first born as well. So very supportive for me to continue breastfeeding, but introduce high protein formula into his diet as well, which means he's now thriving. So we're lucky with that. Down syndrome Scotland have been a good resource as well. And actually just friends and family have just been so accepting that actually, it's Jay first and that's it. The Down syndrome is secondary, and that's what we want it to be. But yeah,
I was really struck by, you sent me a TED talk from Nicola Enoch, who's set up the Positive About Down Syndrome Facebook and the various groups that go with that. And she'd said, you know, a Down syndrome baby just needs exactly the same, you know, love, water, food. It's exactly the same. And that's it. He's a person and just as beautiful as the next baby, and deserves to be treated as such.
Absolutely. And that's one thing that I struggled with in the start. You know, we didn't know enough about Down syndrome to start with. We hadn't really prepared for it. And I guess my main concern was how are things going to be different? And yeah, Nicola Enoch kind of, I contacted her. She was messaging me during the night, that Monday night when we had the diagnosis confirmed. And that's the one thing she said, you know, Jay is Jay, and he will need exactly the same things as a typical newborn baby will need. He needs feeding, he needs cuddles, you know, and just to enjoy that. And that's exactly what we've done. The next stage is now no one can tell us about. We don't know how he's going to reach the various milestones in his development. But he's a happy, cheeky, smiley.
Yeah, and you described it beautifully when you said, you know, his development with Down syndrome, you're almost taking the scenic route.
Yeah, that's it. He will get there. He will get there in his own time. We will do everything we can to support him. So already he's seen a dietitian, speech and language therapist, physiotherapist. You know, we will do anything for if he needs anything additional. But yeah, he will develop in his own time, as all babies do. So yeah, it will be the scenic route, but the journey will be worth it.
Yeah, that's good. And how's day to day for you now, Anne-Marie?
Day is hectic. It is hectic.
You look amazing.
So I have really taken to motherhood, despite having not felt maternal. Probably until Jim arrived, I had not felt maternal. It was always my husband that was the broody one. He was so eager to start a family. But actually, as soon as Jay arrived, it's unconditional love, and it's just, it's brilliant. I've thrown myself in probably at the deep end, taking him to some baby classes, which I never thought I would do. I don't know if it's because of Jay's Down syndrome diagnosis that I just feel like I have to do the best for him. So even now, just taking him to these baby classes, why shouldn't I? You know, so, and it's been great during lockdown as well, just being able to get out of the house and meet new mums as well, and shared our different stories. And I guess, you know, talking about our stories are the best thing we can do to actually share the information. You know, there's only so much you can read in a book, but actually you find out so much more just by talking to people and sharing experiences. So yeah, baby classes. The first sort of 11 weeks of Jay's life was back and forth to the hospital for various tests and checkups. But I think, you know, most of them will become annual checks now, so we're kind of over them and we can just get on with enjoying each other's company now.
Yeah, lovely.